When people hear your name, Irshad Manji, the first thing that comes to mind is she's a Pakistani. Is that true?
Well, perhaps either to the delight or the chagrin of many Pakistanis. The answer is not quite. You see, my father's side of the family comes from Gujarat. Now, does Gujarat belong to Pakistan or does it belong to India? All of that is mere politics. What I do know is that, my heritage is very much South Asian. My mother's side of the family, I will quickly tell you, comes from southern Egypt. And all of us and thousands of others were brought to East Africa by the British to help lay the colonial railroads. And only, a couple of generations, my father's family, being entrepreneurs, rose to the status of used car salesmen, if you can believe it. So don't trust even the child of a used car salesperson. And then, of course, we were expelled from East Africa by General Idi Amin and wound up in Canada. So in many senses, I'm a hybrid, a global mutt for those who dislike me, and a global citizen for those who appreciate what I'm saying.
But can you speak Urdu?
I can't speak Urdu, no, and I did not grow up with Urdu. I actually grew up with Gujarati.
Let's talk about a little bit about your docu. It ran on PBS.
Yes.
A lot of good feedback on the docu.
From Muslims especially.
From Muslims, which is surprising.
It is.
But
I worry that I might be losing my edge.
But I think you got to give them some credit that there is an underground movement amongst the Muslims themselves that they want to stand up and rise.
You know what, Imran? It's not even that I got to give them some credit. I recognize this completely, which is why I'm only tapping into the hunger that already exists. You see, here's the great irony, is that those who say that the kinds of ideas I'm talking about are un-Islamic actually have less faith in the capacity of Muslims to be better and do better. The clerics don't have much faith in you and me at all. It is heretics, so-called, who have much more faith in our fellow Muslims, precisely because we expect more. And we expect more because we know we're capable of more. And yes, that underground movement already exists. In fact, I can tell you, Imran, that just a month ago, I received an email from a writer for the New York Times Magazine who said, "Did you know that your book is being downloaded in Arabic from your website and passed around in the underground among young Muslims in Syria and Lebanon and Jordan?" Now, the truth is I did know, because already it's been downloaded more than 200,000 times in Arabic alone. But I asked her how she knew. And she said, "Because I've seen it with my own eyes." She wasn't looking for this. She observed it on her own. I can tell you that when I was in Cairo about this time last year, I was amazed by how many young Muslim men, and not just women, approached me, I'm sure thanks to the hair, to say, "Irshad, you have our gratitude for putting, the book on your website for free of charge download. I am reading it, my friends are reading it, and it's making the rounds of the democracy movement." As a matter of fact, let's just go to the Urdu edition for a quick second. It is precisely because the Urdu language edition of the book was actually banned by various members of the ulama in the first week that it came out in Pakistan, and booksellers cleared it off their shelves, that I decided to put the Urdu edition on my website, again for free of charge download. Nearly 90,000 downloads since then, and counting. And you know what? Only about 3 weeks ago, from my MySpace page, I received an email from an anthropologist who is working with women in Calcutta, India. And that anthropologist said that they are reading the book in Urdu and teaching it to their students in a free school for slum children. So the point is, in the most unlikely of places, you are right. The hunger for change exists. And I believe it is the responsibility of privileged Muslims like you and me, who live in relatively comfortable parts of the world, such as the United States and Canada, to be exercising our privilege, to be helping those Muslims who don't yet have the freedoms that we do, to help them find their voices. This is not imposition. This is interdependence.